Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Eric with SweetSpotDFS, and this is my DFS preview for the 2022 American Express. I'm going to cover everything you need to know prior to building your DFS lineups this week, which is going to include looking at tournament information, course information, past optimal lineups, and the bucket system, which of course is my way of analyzing the top 10 for every single year this tournament's played, dating back to 2013. And the whole purpose is to find common stats to build our lineups around. So if you want to see timestamps for this video, you can find them in the description below, or you can hover over the progress bar and find them there. But I'm aiming to make this one shorter than usual. So let's go ahead, let's dive right into it right away. We're going to start with giveaways, of course. First one is a subscriber giveaway. All it requires you to do to get an entry into this $10 giveaway is be subscribed and comment down below. Give me your favorite 10K golfer, because I have a feeling we're going to need another 10K golfer this week as well. So give me your favorite 10K golfer and you'll get automatically entered into this giveaway. Now, in order for the giveaway to run, we need to hit the goal, which is on the screen right there, 275 subscribers. We're 4 away from that. So if you're not yet subscribed, please do so. We'll run this giveaway then. The second giveaway that I'm doing is very similar to this one. Be subscribed, comment below. You'll have to email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com in order to get the optimizer, which is a fun way to build lineups. You can use a bunch of tools within this optimizer to create different lineups. Super simple, super awesome. I'm not going to really talk more about it. If you want to know more about the optimizer, join me in the strategy video tomorrow. But I just want to let you guys know this is available. You'll also get the dream sheet as well as the bucket system, which all of this is still loaded with Sony Open information. Don't worry about that. I will update this prior to sending you. But again, gotta be subscribed. Comment down below, favorite 10K golfer, and email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Twitter and let me know you're interested in this. All I'll do is just grab your email that way and send the optimizer to you that way, because it's on Excel spreadsheet. So if you don't have Excel, don't bother asking for it, because it uses a very specific tool within Excel to run the optimizer. So either way, it's available to you guys. Be subscribed, comment below, email me. Okay. The last giveaway that I have is my prize picks giveaway. I have a link in the description that'll get you straight to the sign up page utilizing the promo code SweetSpot. If you sign up using that code, put $20 into your account, you're automatically get entered into this giveaway. So you put 20 bucks in. One of the great things is Prize Picks is going to match that, giving you an additional 20. So you'll have 40. You win this giveaway, you're playing Prize Picks for free, and you got $40 to your account. Super simple. Again, link is in the description below. Highly encourage you guys to use that to sign up. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get in this thing. I want to make this as quick as possible. Let's see how quick I can do it. The tournament, obviously you already know from the title, the American Express. It has been known for different names in the past, most formally known as the Bob Hope Classic. But recently it was the Desert Classic, the Humana Challenge, the Career Builder. All of those fall under this tournament. So this tournament established in 1960. They've all been played in La Quinta. There's actually 5 different golf courses that this tournament has played at. However, since 2016, the courses you see on the screen, PGA West, the Stadium and Nicklaus Tournament Course, as well as La Quinta Country Club, have all hosted this tournament. So we'll continue down the tournament information. Field size, 156 players. It's top 65 in ties for the cut, but it's after 54 holes. So one thing to note, this week, play anyone you want. It's a great time to be as risky as possible, honestly. There have been moments where GPPs have been won rostering somebody who missed the cut because their actual their DK score was low because they had enough birdies and eagles throughout their 3-day visit at this tournament to make up, for the miscut, essentially. Because they're just, let me word it a different way. They're only missing out on 18 holes. as opposed to 36 holes on a normal cut tournament. So anyways, 54 holes. We're not going to stay there. Average winning score -24. That's negating last year's tournament. Last year's tournament, only 2 golf courses were played because of COVID. There was no Pro-Am to this event, which obviously I forgot to mention. This is a Pro-Am, which means a celebrity will be assigned to each golfer. Makes things slow. It's a whole pain in the butt. Rounds are going to be really long. But anyways, Pro-Am, average winning scores -24 during this Pro-Am, dating back to 2013. Average cut scores -8. The strength of field this week, 322, and the weather's going to be immaculate because it's in the desert. So I should have put Saturday's forecast on here, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be around 80 degrees, no wind, blue skies. I should know. I used to live there. I absolutely love this place. Every October I get reminded of it. Like, for whatever reason, I used to always, or October was the month that I always drove out there from Minnesota. So, yeah, perfect weather. Scoring conditions should be optimal, although the course will be running firmer than, say, the Sony Open and the Tournament of Champions last week, or the last 2 weeks. Greens won't be as soft. So we will still see low scores like -24, but it's not going to be like Tournament of Champions low. Your golf courses used in this rotation: PGA West Stadium, PGA West Nicklaus Tournament Course. There are 2 Nicklaus golf courses there. And the private course was used prior to 2016, so don't get that confused. La Quinta Country Club, and it's La Quinta, not La Quinta for all my white folks. Like, come on, stop saying La Quinta. It's La Quinta. La Quinta Country Club. Larry Hughes, I'm not sure why, or not why. I have no idea what other golf courses Larry Hughes has been an architect to. I don't think you have to worry about that. You have par 72s throughout all 3 courses. They're all around 7,100 yards. And if you joined me, or you were paying attention, you were observing, you were having fun on Twitter this morning, you would have seen me get into it with a couple people about the grass type at this golf course. Now, by and large, does grass stats really matter that much? No, they don't. But they're a great tiebreaker. And if we're presenting this information, why not get it right? You know, like I said, I've lived here. I also went to school for golf course management. I know what temperatures are required for certain grasses to actually grow. Bermuda's not going to grow here. So just so you know, greens are overseeded with Poa trivialis, and the fairways and some of the rough are overseeded with ryegrass. So if you're doing any of your splits, look at those pieces of information. But yeah, it was fun. Twitter was fun this morning. It was maddening because, like, I just know that information, and I've got, like, no offense, I'm kind of a stat nerd myself, but I got nothing but stat nerds coming at me telling me that that's not the grass. It's like, you don't know shit when it comes to grass. Like, you're copying what you see online, which is totally fine. I totally understand it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of joking about all of this. I would too do the same thing. I see something online, especially like the Golf Course Superintendent Association of America, the GCSAA, and they're posting that this is all Bermuda grass. See, I know different, like I know better than that, to understand that's not always true. Like those tournament fact sheets aren't always, 100% accurate. So it was fun. If you're another thing to add to this, your greens, the overseed POA, I would treat those more like bent grass. And in fact, if you really want like good golf courses to use, or good tournaments to use for putting splits, look at the Waste Management Open. These two are almost carbon copy, like overseed with the same kind of flat layout, that kind of stuff. I think that's a very perfect comp when it comes to putting splits. You can also look at anything else that's overseeded on Bermuda with flattish greens. But this is desert golf, so it's a little bit different. What other golf course can we think of off the top of our head? I almost want to take any of those Vegas courses. You could probably use those as well. I think the Shriners was also overseeded, so that would be another golf course you could do. Maybe Shadow Creek, maybe Summit Club. Those are two that you could probably get away with. Like, I don't remember if they were overseeded off the top of my head. I should have done that research prior to. But anyways, that's what I have for grass. And then if you see all the shot shapes here, these little boxes, the far left is the PGA West Stadium course. This one here is the Nicklaus Tournament course. And that one is La Quinta. As you can see, there are a lot of different shot shapes that you can do at this golf course. So to me, I think it's more of a shot shaper's paradise. That's why Adam Hadwin has done well here. That's why Phil Mickelson has done well here in the very long ago. Anyone who can work the ball, I think, is going to thrive at this course. But that's all I have for tournament information, course information. Let's get into past optimal lineups. I'm at 10 minutes. I'm going to try to make this fast. So let me get down the tournament information. Let's bring up the spreadsheet. We are here in 2018. So we're only going to focus on the optimal lineups. I do have something colored in green. We'll talk about that here shortly. Your optimal lineup in 2018 left $2,300 on the table. And we're going to see that trend throughout this, but don't pay much attention to it. It included an 11K and then nothing but 7K golfers. That was your optimal in 2018. I shouldn't say 7Ks. It was an 11K, 3 7s, and 2 6s. You can see the golfers that I highlighted. But a more realistic optimal was an 11K and 5 7Ks. This equals up to 49,400. If you followed me long enough, you know I don't like to leave a lot of money on the table. In fact, I want everything north of 49,000. That's the whole sweet spot process. Find all 6 golfers inside the top 10 above $49,000. That's basically what I'm searching for. So that was your optimal and realistic optimal there. In 2019, kind of had the same thing. We're leaving a lot of money on the table, $4,300 on the table. And your optimal there consisted of another 10K, a 9K, and then a bunch of 6s and 7s. So 3 6s and a 7K. If you substitute the 7K for another 10K, we get to 49,100. Again, north of 49,000, everybody inside the top 10. This is my realistic optimal. When we go to 2020, we're leaving even more money on the table, $5,500. And this time we don't have a 10K in the actual optimal lineup. You have a 9, an 8, 3 6K golfers, and then a 7K. But if you substitute, actually, I don't think I did. Oh, yeah. $6,100 Sebastian Kaplan with, that's not correct. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. So if you take Sebastian Kaplan off and you put Ricky Fowler, now we get up to 49,900, which then includes another 10K golfer. So realistically, a realistic optimal lineup, we're still using a 10K golfer in our optimal. And then when we go to 2021, which is last year, your optimal lineup actually used up all $50,000, which is very rare, but it happens from time to time. We have an 11K, a 9K, an 8K, 2 7s, and a 6, which is your traditional build. So I'd like to start here and then just kind of, mix and match. Go with an 11 or a 10K golfer, drop down to a 9, or start here, I should say. And then you could sub out Abraham Answer at 9,100 for like Paul Casey at 8,700. Now you're leaving $400 on the table as opposed to $0 on the table. You could switch one of these other golfers, let's say Cameron Davis to Francesco Molinari. I wouldn't advise this, but you would be leaving $1,100 on the table. So you could look at it that way. You could build that way to get to your optimals. So again, what I've seen mostly, a 10K, a 7K is where you kind of want to start, and then kind of feed in 9Ks, 8Ks, and 6Ks as you see fit. One way to validate this is past our optimals now. Well, we're now done with past optimals. Let's get into the bucket system, which we're going to talk about salary buckets here shortly, but I just want you to see all the stats we're going to talk about. last year buckets or last year stats, last week buckets, course history, no recent form, because to me, I would want half the field to have at least 2 events under their belt in order to look at recent form. And since last week was like your first full field event, we're not going to have half the field with recent form. So we'll take that bucket out. And then we have salaries and strokes gained stats. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this. Let's fly through this. Look at our salaries. We already talked about 10. We're going to start top bottom. We already talked about 10K and how I think you're going to need one. You're going to see them in all your optimals. But if we're looking at projections, I'm projecting somewhere between 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket finishing inside the top 10. And we only have 4 this week. So it just shows you how strong the 10K range is. On average, we see about 5. So it's pretty good. I think I'm fairly positive we're going to have a 10K. I just remembered I made a bet last week. I wonder what it was. I can't think. I feel like since the bucket system hit that I didn't lose it. But anyways, 10K golfer. I feel like I'd put my money on, a 10K being inside the top 10. So there you have it. The rest of the buckets, you're going to see 9K, we want somewhere between 1 to 2. 8K, somewhere between 0 to 2. 7K, between 1 to 3. And then your 2 6Ks are somewhere between 0 to 2. Remember this max projection here, we're always rounding up. No matter what the number is, 1.07 still gets rounded up to 2. And 0.64 gets rounded down. And even 0.86, that gets rounded down to 0, because that's what we're doing in this column. So those are my projections, how I kind of see them as for salaries. Let's jump into strokes gained stats very quickly. I only look at off the tee and putting. If you want to know why, leave a comment down below. But strokes gained 1 are all stats positive. We're looking for 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket to finish inside the top 10. We usually see 7.5 golfers from this bucket, and we have 7 this week. So good chance we're going to see one of those guys inside the top 10. Strokes gained 2, positive putting, positive off the tee, and either a negative stat in approach or a negative stat around the green. We're projecting 1 to 2. Strokes gained 3, positive putting, negative approach, and whatever stat in between. Again, 1 to 3. So it's a pretty I want to call it basic, but that's not what I'm looking for. Pretty even, pretty equal amongst all these buckets. Somewhere between 1 to 3 from each of those 3 that we just talked about. And then strokes gained 4 is negative off the tee, positive putting. These are your Christian Bezuidenhout's. Who else was like Lucas Glover, I think, fell into this bucket last week. So we want 1 to 2 of those guys. And then probably just don't pay attention to anyone that is in the strokes gained 5 or 6. We do have 26 golfers there that I think we could probably just write off. We don't want to play any of them. Those are your strokes gained buckets. Let's now get into kind of the grandfather buckets, basically. The ones that started it all. The last year bucket, last week bucket. So these are your performances from the year before. Again, this goes back to 2013. Actually goes back to 2014 because I start in 2013. Having a finish here inside the top 20 last year is a good omen. It's a good, I shouldn't even say good omen. It's a good stat that does show up inside the top 10 every single year. And this week we're projecting somewhere between 1 to 3. 2.01 still gets rounded up to 2, or gets rounded up to the next number, which is 3. So somewhere between 1 to 3 golfers who topped 20 last year. That's where we want to build some of our lineups around. Going down that chart, 20 to 40 finishing place, we want somewhere between 0 to 2. Not super confident in that bucket, but it's okay. Those that finish in that 40 to 60 range, this is like your coup de grace bucket. Like it's a bad bucket in general most of the time. This one and actually that 60 to 80 range, as you can see, both of them very low projections. 0 to 1, 0 to 1, but really it's 0 to 0. Not a lot of golfers in those buckets. We have a total of 14 between the two. You probably could just write those guys off as well. So when we go through the strategy video tomorrow and you see these buckets, just go ahead, cross them off, which I will be doing in the strategy video as well. And then we've got missed cuts and did not plays. Both of these are buckets you want to be building your lineups around. Missed cuts, look, and withdraws, by the way. Look somewhere between 1 to 3 from that bucket, and then 2 to 4 out of golfers who just did not play last week. That includes people who also have course history or event history. They just didn't play last year. So keep that in mind, and it also includes rookies. That's the last year buckets. Let's look at our last week buckets. And again, we'll go down the list. Having a top 20 finish here, not, you know, not an ink. Well, actually, it would be an ink bucket. It'd be 0.9 exactly. So I would say you probably want one here, but there's still a little bit of risk that a golfer from this bucket won't finish inside the top 10. But anyways, 0 to 2 of golfers who top 20 last week at the Sony. And then we have a bunch of 0 projections here for golfers who finished 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80. So it kind of looks like, I mean, we don't have a lot of golfers in the field this week that fall under those buckets, but it kind of looks like it's just not a good bucket, you know, to go with. It just, maybe it's not a friendly travel from Hawaii to California, and that might play into it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but not buckets that I'm actively pursuing. Unlike last week buckets, those that missed the cut, who had those extra days traveling, the projection's 1 to 2. So that's pretty good. We do have 55 golfers in the field that fall under that bucket. And then your top bucket for projection wise, and actually just ranking golfers who didn't play last week. Load up on those. You can load up somewhere between 2 to 5 golfers from there. You can almost get away with 3 to 5 if you wanted to. Definitely kind of go that route. And then that leaves us with one last bucket, our course history bucket, which is, again, event history or tournament history. There's 3 golf courses being played, so you can't really do course history. Don't mind it saying course history. But as we go down, having a top 20 finish in course history isn't terrible. The projection's somewhere between 0 to 2. Now, Jon Rahm is in this bucket. I think he's heavily, pushing the projections up because of his strength of field. I think he has 40 points that go towards strength of field. Let me just double check on that. Jon Rahm. He has 48 points going towards that bucket. 48 out of the 65. So 17 are going elsewhere. This is probably just Jon Rahm or bust. But you could play some of the other guys in that bucket if you want. There's only 4 golfers in that bucket total, including Jon Rahm. Going down the list again, course history 2s. That's that 20 to 40 average finishing place, dating back to 2013. 8.61% success rate. We're projecting somewhere between 1 to 2. Your big one, though, the big bucket is between that 40 to 60 range. Again, average finishing place going back to 2013. Somewhere between 2 to 5. We are projecting in this bucket. That 60 to 80 range, somewhere between 0 to 2, and then 0 to 1 for just missing cuts every single year. I don't think that's really how that bucket looks like, but this could be just one missed cut. They only play this one time. It's a missed cut. They fall under this bucket. There is some success, but it's not super high. And then did not plays. Never played this event before. Somewhere between 0 to 2. We have 36 golfers in the field that fall under that bucket. On average, we have 34. So it's probably a good chance we're going to see one, but it's not super, it's not a huge confidence in that bucket. That's it for the preview. We are at 23 minutes. I wanted to see if I get this under 25. Hooray. I mean, we're at 24 technically, but I have nothing else to provide. Just a reminder about those giveaways. Got to be subscribed in order to get an entry into the $10 giveaway as well as the optimizer. Contact me on email, SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com, in order to get the optimizer, and comment down below your favorite 10K golfer. And prize picks, sign up using the promo code SweetSpot, put $20 in your account, you're automatically entered into that giveaway as well. So yeah, that's all I have. We kept it under 25. Hooray! Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the strategy video tomorrow. All right, bye.